am just missing you terribly. But if you're watching this, it's probably because you bought one of our color kits. And so I wanted to give you a really quick how-to on how to do this. So there's two different kits. I'm going to go over the one that is in the black bag. This kit has your, let me set it all out, your color bowl, your black brush, 2 sets of gloves. Some people just use 1 glove, depends on how messy you are. You'll have a plastic cap, or you can have a cap that you can wrap around your shoulders just to kind of protect your shirt as well. So there's that. You also have a cape included in yours. These are all really good. You can just throw this in the wash machine once you're done with it and reuse it. Don't dry it because it will melt. Most of these caps are plastic or have plastic in them. You will have your developer, which is going to be in this, and your color, which is going to be in this. There's about 2 ounces of each, and they've been measured out. And specifically, I just went through all of your formulas and did them accordingly. Some of you, I had you take pictures because we go off of fading and all that good stuff. So I appreciate y'all purchasing these. It helps us out in the long run. We're not going to have to go back and either do a lot of really horrific box color repair. Also, box color doesn't do full gray coverage, so these are good for those. But so you're going to make sure you have all of your stuff out, and then I'm going to show you how to mix it. I also have instructions written out in there. You probably already see them, but if you want this just helps me out, helps you out. And you also should have 2 clips in your package. Most people will have 2 clips unless I've already run out. There's a couple bags that aren't going to include them, but you'll have your 2 clips in there that look like this. So what you're going to do is you're just going to take your brush, and I'm not using color because we're going to conserve because it's really hard to get a hold of color right now. You're going to use your color, and it's going to be in this. It's going to be like a thick clay is what it feels like almost. And you're going to use your brush and scoop it all out and put it into your bowl. If you got one of the packages where you got 2 color applications, or you have a full head of color worth in your package, then you'll have 2 of these, and then this will be filled to the brim. You're going to use half of this and 1 of these to start with, and then you can mix the other half whenever you either go to pull it through your ends or when you go to do your double application. So don't use the whole thing if you're someone who purchased a double pack. So put your color in your bowl, and then you're going to slowly, like you would with clay and trying to mix moisture into clay, you're going to slowly add your developer. So you're just going to do a little bit, mix, loosen it up a little bit more, and then until it's fully mixed in. And you can tell because it's just a nice, smooth kind of, I don't know, smoothie texture. So there's that. And all you're going to do then, once it's all continued to be mixed up, put your cape on. Or if you're just someone who's just kind of protecting an old yucky t-shirt, you can put this on as well, just around your shoulders to kind of protect any of the color. It will probably go flying if you're not used to this, so if you see it kind of splat on something, this is permanent color, it will stick, wipe it up immediately. Don't do it on like a precious countertop, like a white countertop, that will stain. Not suggested. So you'll put your gloves on, make sure you put both your gloves on. And then what I do is I make sure to kind of rub the edges of my color off. And then I'm going to take my hair with the end of my brush, and I'm going to divide it into 2. Hairstylists will typically divide it into 4. We're going to try to make this as easy as possible though. And you're going to take one of your clips and just move that to the side. Take your other clip. Even if you have short hair, this can be useful. Isn't that cute? This can be useful just to kind of help you navigate, make sure you don't have holes in your hair, especially if your hair is pretty light when it's coming through and you're going with a darker color. You kind of want to be a little bit more detailed. But so then you're going to take a little bit of your color, and I wipe one side off on my bowl, and then I have the other side that has color on it. And I'm going to start in the important parts, which is going to be down the middle. And then I sometimes will do this. I'll do ear to ear, and I hold it, get more color on. I'll do this side, ear to ear, this side, and back. And what that's going to do for most of us who, like, if we're like, you know what, I just want to get the important parts, which is going to be around my face and the top of my head and anywhere my hair parts before my arm falls off, that's a good way to do it. If you're someone who you feel like you can manage all the way to the end, then you have these 2 sections right in here and you won't get confused as to kind of where you stopped. So really that's it. So you're gonna start down your part. If you choose to do these back sections, you're gonna start ear to ear here. And then take this new clip and you're gonna move it onto one of the sections that you don't need now. And this is my free section. And I'm gonna take, again, the end of my brush and I'm gonna slice it just straight back like this, and then I pull it over. This already had color on one side, so now I'm gonna color both of these spots right here. And I'm gonna get some of my color. Again, wipe it off on one side of your brush. Make sure you don't have too much on there because you don't really need it, and it'll go a lot further if you're not like sitting there smashing tons where it's not needed. And so I kind of start on both sides pulling it, and then I'll go back this way on both sides pulling it. If you have highlights though, I want you to be really careful and to make sure that you're only pulling this as far down as you absolutely have to, because obviously you'll end up covering your highlights. So be sure to make sure you're paying attention to how much you're pulling it on. Again, we're gonna do this all the way down. It's gonna go all the way down this section. I don't have color on mine, so my hair's falling, but I'm gonna do that all the way down this section here. And then I'm gonna take my comb and I'm gonna kind of do this and just double check. I'm gonna go down the opposite direction, just double check, make sure I got all my little gaps in there and that everything is colored. And then I move on to my next section, which is gonna be over here, the other important one. You're gonna do the same thing on this one. So I'm gonna put this now on this back section that's already been parted with color. And I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna slice here and I'm gonna do all the way down till I get to the end here. And then I'll take this and go vertically to just double check and make sure I got all the extra stuff. And obviously you're gonna be at home for a little bit, or we have a little bit more time to let this color wear off. I use makeup remover to get my color off of my hairline, but you can use that, you can use Vaseline, but typically alcohol, having something with a little bit of alcohol in it helps you get it off too. So any with oil and alcohol combined is a really great little mixture to get hair color off. But I say this because I want you to make sure you're really getting these little hairs in here. We don't want to paint any of the hairs that are on our face, or if you're like me where you're really hairy, but you do want to make sure that you're getting these hairlines really well. A great way to protect your hairline from getting color on it though is to take a little bit of conditioner beforehand and just paint the outside on your skin where you don't want it to be. It will block color though, so that's why I typically don't do it. I want to make sure that we get every little hair, but if you're someone who wants to maybe try to block the color, you don't trust yourself to be super neat right there, then put some conditioner along your edges. So that's really it. You're going to do that, and then once you get to the back section, for those of you that are going to take this all the way, I'm going to section my hair back off. And we'll pretend this all has color on it so I know. And then I pull this section up. And I'm going to start by outlining it all the way down the middle. And then I go all the way up through here. And again, making sure this outline is really good. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do horizontal, pulling this forward, painting it on. Horizontal, pulling this forward, painting it on. Most of the time, even if you have highlights through here, it's not going to bother them because I can go back and fix any of that kind of stuff. If you end up pulling it down too far or whatever, it should not factor in too much. And plus, hopefully by the time I see you, it'll fade it out a little bit and we kind of do our same old thing. I'm really hoping I see y'all before June. So that's all you're gonna do. And then you'll follow on to the next section. That should be it. So that's just a simple, easy color retouch.